everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm out here, I'm filling up the IBC tote because this weekend, Christmas weekend, we have a major cold front coming in. It's going to get really cold for around here anyway. The wind chills are going to be down to single digits to below zero. So I'm filling up this IBC tote over here with dry firewood, which I thought would be a good time to go over, since a lot of you have been asking me what kind of firewood I burn here on the farm. And a lot of you have been asking about the wood stove. And that's fine. I take any questions about the Cozy King because I know there's not a lot of stuff out there. I've had a lot of people say they've found my videos and learned a lot because the manual just doesn't have that much in it. So if you want to ask me a question, fire away. You can get a hold of me on here or on Facebook or on the email, whatever you want to do. I'll be more than happy to try and help you with whatever issue you might be having with the stove or how to run it, whatever it may be. So starting off with one of the species of firewood that we have a lot of is elm. And maybe some of you know better. I know it's elm, but I don't know what kind of elm it is. But this is elm. And the thing about elm, I mean, it's decent firewood, but it doesn't burn real hot. Basically, I like to use this to burn either in the spring or the fall, you know, when you just need to take the chill out of the house. But Kelsey, my wife, she loves having the elm because she says with it being so stringy, it's easy to get a fire started when the fire goes out. So she likes elm for that reason. But as far as a wood to really heat up your house, it's not the greatest, but you know, it'll take the chill out. And I don't put this in overnight. I just put it in like during the day or in the spring or the fall. So of course around here we have a lot of cherry, and this puts off a decent amount of BTUs, British thermal units, you know, as far as heat goes, but it's not the best that we have around here. But the thing I like the most about cherry is the smell when you're burning it. And if you've burned it before, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so now we're moving into the hotter stuff, and one of my favorite firewood species to burn, and that is this right here, the black locust. And that is a wood that we have a lot of around here. They're also good for fence posts. We're getting into firewood now that it's kind of tough on your chainsaw because it's hard to cut. It's a hard wood. But when you put one of these in the fire at night, you better believe you're going to have coals in the morning, because these things burn hot and for a long time. That's why I like them. And last but not least, I have my secret weapon for weather that's coming up this weekend when it gets really cold out. But it's a firewood that you have to be really careful with because it could potentially damage your stove. And that is the Osage orange. Some people call it hedge apple, some call it the monkey ball tree. This is the hottest burning wood that we have here in eastern Ohio. And with this stuff, you better be careful with it because it could burn up your stove. I only put one stick of it in at a time, and you better believe you're going to have hot coals because it burns hot and for a long time. So I'll be using that this weekend whenever the cold comes in. Now of course we got other species. We got maples, we got ash, which a lot of them got eliminated by the ash borer beetle. We've got beech, we've got sycamore, but I'm just going over the main species of wood that I burn here on the farm. And that's what gets us through the winter here, is the elm, the maple, throw maple in there because we do cut up some maple, the cherry, locust, and the Osage orange. So we're going to start making it a focus here this winter to start eliminating some of the elm trees around the property. You know, because they're decent firewood but not great. We could have cherry growing, we could have more locust growing, or you know, even Osage orange. I don't really want those trees around. I want to make my timber stand better for us to be able to have it timbered one day. At least the girls and the kids can have the timber whenever they're older maybe. But yeah, that's what the guy who came and looked at our woods here the other day said. He said start eliminating all the junk and that'll help everything else grow up. So we're going to start doing that here this winter sometime. Probably when we get the new tractor. So the stuff I cut over at Dad's, I was able to put that and IBC tote, both the same way. But this is stuff that I cut back in the spring here. So I must have cut it a couple inches longer. So now I gotta put them straight this way and horizontal this way. But hey, it doesn't have to be pretty, just a way to get it over to the house. All right, so that's all the more I'm gonna put in that tote. If I bring too much firewood over to the house, Kelsey kind of takes that as a challenge, which is an ongoing joke with me and her. I tell her that she just sits there and just keeps chucking it in one right after another, and I'm out of firewood in no time. But no, she does a good job. She's come a long way from when we first got this house and had to heat with a wood stove. So some of you have been asking about the wood stove and the crack that we had welded a couple years ago. So let me go show you. Okay, so we got a nice fire going in here right now. I took the power out, that way you guys can hear what I'm saying. I'm gonna try to stay out of the light here, but here you can see where the cracks were. It ended up cracking back here towards me, and then he just went ahead and ground out the whole weld all the way around, and then he drilled holes in the ends here and then welded everything across there, and this thing has been holding solid ever since. And if you see that right there, I just can't find a paint that will stay on there ever since he did that. But yeah, this thing has been holding up great. He was a good welder, and that was the only problem with this stove, was just the weld. So this has been a great stove for us. Alright, so I hope this answers all the questions you guys had about the firewood that we use and burn with. And I hope this answers the question about the wood stove. Like I said, we had that crack at the beginning, but the welder came and welded, and it's been great ever since. We love that stove, and we are warm all the time now. And fires last a good long time too. So I hope this video helped you in some way, and until next time, thanks for watching.